We are currently trekking barefoot right now to an isolated island deep in a remote area of the Australian rainforest. And the reason why we're headed here today is because on this island is a certain group of animals that are trapped off by a creek from the rest of the rainforest. Now, I actually found this island when I was about 12 years old and I nicknamed it Snake Island, like the island off the coast of Brazil that you see in a lot of documentaries. And the only reason I named it this is because when I went there 8 years ago, I found so many highly venomous snakes living on this island. Since then, I've been back to this island only a handful of times and I've been trapped in a flash flood, had to build traps to catch my own food, and had to survive with some of the most venomous snakes that live here in Australia. It's a pretty crazy place and seems like crazy things happen every time I go there. So today we're heading back there for 24 hours by myself, living with these snakes, going night snorkeling in the creeks that surround this island, and seeing if I can take on Snake Island and survive. This is gonna be a pretty cool adventure, but first we have to get there. So this is what I bought in my backpack over to this island that I'm gonna be taking with me. This is all I got right here. Besides my camera gear and a spare pair of clothes, this is everything I have to survive 24 hours on this island. Got a snake bite survival kit. Pretty self-explanatory. If I do get bitten by a highly venomous snake out here, this thing will save me. I've got a hammock as well. Normally I like to build primitive shelters, but it's good to get off the ground when you're out on an island like this where there's so many deadly animals. I got a torch. We're gonna be going night snorkeling tonight. This torch can go underwater as well, so keen to see if we can find some nocturnal species of snakes and some big fish under the surface later on. And that's everything that I brought to Snake Island this time. Let's go try to find some more snakes. So I was just walking up this creek and take a look at what I spotted sitting under this little palm from right here. I'm just gonna get over the other side of the palm, lift it up and show you what a cool snake this is. And would you have a go at this little dude right down here? So this is a venomous species of snake and it's known as the golden crown snake. They're very gentle snakes, really reluctant to bite, because a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll do something called a mock strike. So they'll get all angry, stand up in an S position, come towards you, say, I'm dangerous, and they'll strike towards you, but they won't even open their mouth. I really don't want to be saying all this and then get bitten on the face by this snake, because I'm definitely in striking range. So there's a species of snake known as the eastern brown, and it is a very venomous snake. It's responsible for about 50% of snake fatalities here in Australia. And people see a snake like this, which is also a brown color, and mistake it for these eastern browns and kill it. But these guys are such nice snakes, and I find it crazy that in a country with so many venomous snakes, so many deadly species, there's such a lack of knowledge. So he's gonna take cover under this rock right now, as I'm taking cover under this palm, and we're gonna go about our day doing our own things. Around the outside, there's a much deeper creek, which is where I'm gonna head to at the moment and try to find something like a python. Hasn't even been 10 minutes and we've already found a golden crown snake. Let's see if we can get a few more species. We got another one just up here. I just spotted him. His scales were glistening in the sun and he's warming himself up early morning on this rock right here, and this is the first species of python that we got today. He's not a massive snake by any means, but so cool to get a couple different species first up in the morning. Here we go. Whoa, straight in the water. There we go. Look at that. Are you kidding me? That looks so cool, swimming under the water like that. And it just proves they're just as home in the water as they are on the land. Wow, look at that. What a magnificent snake. And what a magnificent start to the day. I told myself I wasn't gonna jump in the creek this early, but we all know that was a lie. See you, mate. That was a pretty interesting start to the day. Carpet python, mate. Swimming carpet python. So what I'm really curious about is what these snakes are actually feeding on an island like this. So what I thought I'd do is I'd switch from looking for snakes for a bit. I'll go look for some more later on, but I'm gonna try to find what a carpet python of that size would be feeding on this island. Have a go at this little fella. I hate to say it, mate, but you're definitely on the menu for that carpet python. Look at that. All right, he's gonna go off into that hole right there. The carpet python, just down that way, sitting on the rocks, so don't go down there. Pretty high up in the canopy now. I'm gonna stay here for a bit, try get a video of a bird that this python might be eating. I think that's a Regent bowbird. This guy is definitely on the menu for this carpet python. First time I've ever got to film one, and of course I'm sitting way up in a tree. All right, let's get down before we fall. I love climbing trees. So, now that I've showed you what these snakes generally feed on the island, what I'm gonna do now is go try to find some more snakes. I wanna find the deadliest ones that I can while we're over here. This golden crown snake just in front of me right here, and he was headed down to the creek, so I just thought I wouldn't film yet. I'd see what he's doing, and he's drinking out of the creek. I've never seen this before. This is really special for me. I love these snakes. I'm not even gonna follow you around. I'm just gonna leave you be. Sometimes hanging out with animals like this is better than hanging out with people. Let's keep going. So around the world, there are millions of snake bites each year. And here in Australia, the country that holds so many of the most venomous snakes in the world, you'd think that there'd be a lot more fatalities. But really, only a few people die each year from snake bites here in Australia, and it's only because of the anti-venom that we have. It's very easy to coexist with these animals here and live with them. And even in the case that you're bitten by a highly venomous snake, let's say it's the most venomous snake in the world, the inland taipan, which I've found. If you apply the correct first aid and get to the hospital and they administrate anti-venom, you're gonna be okay. I've explained how to apply the correct first aid before in my videos, but if not, just look up a video on YouTube. Sadly, there are other countries like Indonesia, which I just visited and worked with big venomous snakes, that the anti-venom is not as accessible. So that's where the most fatalities are, in countries like that. But yeah, let's go try to find some more highly venomous snakes. You'll not believe what just happened. So I was walking up the creek and I was looking for animals. I lifted up a rock and a big black snake shot out underneath it, and I was thinking that it was a juvenile red belly. It's very common to see these guys hanging out around water sources, and I was waiting for him to come back out, and as he's sticking his head out, I realized it's one of the most venomous snakes here in Australia, in the top 10, known as the small-eyed snake. But what he's doing is he's positioned himself under a rock. See that? He's literally just positioned himself under the rock. He'll come out, get a breath of air, and then go straight back down. These snakes do not live in water. It's rare to see them in the water, but it's crazy to see that if they're put in a situation where they feel a bit threatened and they think something might attack it, they can do something like this. And while I was filming him as well, it was probably the biggest leech I've ever seen that grabbed a hold of my arm. He's just swimming around this pool at the moment. And they actually live in these creek systems. It's cool to see them swimming around, and they'll latch onto you and actually suck your blood. But yeah, he's gonna drop back into the water and go straight back onto my leg. Biggest leech I've ever seen, probably one of the biggest small-eyed snakes I've ever seen as well in a creek system. Seems like really cool things happen every time I come out to this island, which is why I keep coming back here. But yeah, let's keep going. So on this island there are death adders, eastern brown snakes, red belly blacks, coastal taipans, small-eyed snakes, Stevens banded snakes, and rough scales. Now, these are all highly venomous snakes. I think I just mentioned 7 of them. If you get bitten by any 7 of those snakes out here on this island without medical attention, good luck surviving. And good luck to me who's camping on this island tonight. But saying that, I would much rather be in a place like this where the biggest animal that can really overpower you is a pack of wild dogs. I would not feel comfortable camping in a place where there's grizzly bears or mountain lions. I can handle all these venomous things. But saying that, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna head deeper into the forest, look for some more animals. I might even try to find some deadly spiders. I know that they're over here on this island. And later tonight, what I'm gonna do, set up camp, go for a night snorkel underneath the surface in the creek system and see if I can find some ancient fish that haven't changed their appearance in over 100 million years, known as the lungfish. All right, it's nearly dark. Just behind me is where we're gonna set up camp for tonight. But yeah, sun's setting at the moment. First adventure of the year, nearly done. We still got a bit of searching to do, and I reckon we'll find some more cool animals tonight. But yeah, couldn't ask for anything more, mate. Sleeping in a hammock on an island deep in the Australian rainforest, finding so many cool animals. This is the stuff that I live for right here, so thanks for making it possible. I'm safe from the snakes in this hammock tonight. I'm safe from the venomous spiders. The only thing I'm not safe from, and that I am a bit weary of, is wild dogs. There's a pack of wild dogs that are either on this island right now or have been in the past couple days. I've been seeing footprints everywhere. But yeah, it makes it a little bit more exciting, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you all after dark. We did it, mate. The sun's just setting. I thought I would go for a little walk out of my camp to see if we could find any snakes. And would you take a look at this right here? This is the target species, the bandy, better known as the hoop snake. Hey, mate, you are amazing. I cannot believe we found one. Bandy, yes. All right, we're gonna follow him around, see where he goes. So the reason why this is so special to me, finding this bandy out here, this is not only the first one I've ever found out here on this island, but they're not an easy snake to find. They're a really hard snake to find because they spend 90% of their lives living underground. Oh my God, look at the sunset right now. Are you kidding me? What a day. But yeah, for me, this is the most important thing. Coming out here, finding these animals, connecting with the land, and being able to have a platform to show you all how cool they are. I could not live without animals and having these experiences with them, so I think more people these days need to get outside and go on these adventures, get out into nature. Even if you're just swimming in a creek, you don't have to be finding deadly animals. There's definitely a massive disconnect these days from nature and animals. I'm gonna call this little fella Ball. We're gonna let this little bandy be. See you later, mate. One of my favorite snakes to find. This has been such a cool experience. If you didn't realize, look at the patterns on that snake right there, and take a look at my merch. I actually designed my merch from these snakes. They mean so much to me. Let's go snorkeling. All right, we're back at camp. I'm gonna call it a night after that. There's not too much more we can do. We've done so much today. Gonna get a good night's sleep, wake up early tomorrow, and go film that redback spider. I'm keyed for that, then get off the island. Day 2 at the moment. Beautiful day, good sleep. I'm pretty sure wild dogs came into camp last night and were hanging out around that area. I'll go see if I can find some footprints. Yeah, so these were not here yesterday. I was walking all through here. So wild dogs did come through. That's so cool. Alright, let's go find that spider. So this, climbing up towards my finger right now, is the deadliest spider here in Australia. And when I say deadliest, there's species that are more venomous than it, but it's caused the most deaths here in Australia because of how common they are. And you can see why they call them the redback spider, because of this red strip on the abdomen. And this is a big female. The females are the only ones that are dangerous. The males are much smaller than this. Because no, they're not as venomous as, let's say, the funnel web spider, but they're so common that a lot of people get bitten around this country. They're actually responsible for the most bites out of any venomous species here in Australia. He's just crawling along my hand. I'm trying to talk and stay focused at the same time, but they're awesome. They're so cool. Big female, this one, and I do not think anyone should ever try this. If I got bitten here, it'd be completely my fault. But the amazing thing about these female redback spiders, I'm gonna let her drop down on my hand, is the females don't actually have to eat for up to 300 days, which is why they're turning up in places overseas, because they get on the big freight containers, on the big ships, and even if they're locked in a box with no food for that time, they can still survive and get anywhere all around the world. Once mating with a male redback spider, she's able to reproduce for the next 2 years thousands of baby redbacks, which is pretty cool. And I do have to know my limits. I do know that eventually, if I keep handling this spider, I will get bitten. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put her back on her rock and let her be before she climbs somewhere I can't see her. But yeah, I don't want you to think that these animals are out here trying to bite everything, trying to kill everything, because they're really not. They're beautiful animals. I'm gonna go for a swim in the rainforest. It sounds good. Alright legends, that's it for another video. I've just come down to this creek system to finish off this adventure. And mate, how good, look at where we are right now. What a cool video to start the year with. We're gonna have so many more cool adventures this year. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you wanna support me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time in the next adventure.